We got some serious plans for the Nova today. We're going to be rewiring the entire car, not to completion because we still have to put the EFI unit on there, which that'll be in another video coming very, very soon, I promise you. But we are going to rewire the entire thing. And before we get started, I want to just say that I just got over this sickness, so I'm kind of like still sounding a little weird, so sorry about that, but just bear with me. These are awesome, and it makes wiring a breeze. And you can get them from several different companies. I've used some from Speedway Motors. Today we're going to be using this one from Amazon, and I will link to it in the description below because it's about the same quality kit as the one that I got from Speedway Motors, but it's a little bit cheaper. So the nice thing about these is that it comes with a fuse panel. It has 21 circuits on it, and it includes your 2 flashers. So it is by far probably the cheapest way to rewire an entire car. And the simplest way, because if you look at these wires, every like 6 inches or so, each of these wires is labeled with exactly where it's supposed to go, and I'll show you that whenever we start to unravel this thing. There's pretty detailed instructions on how to do it for Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, and so on. It literally covers pretty much every application. So we'll go over this more in a minute, and I'm gonna show you a couple other things I got. The other thing I got was just some really thick battery cable. That way we can relocate the battery from the front of the car all the way back into the trunk. And then finally, I've got a master shutoff switch. And I'm not going to go over exactly where I'm going to install this in the car for safety reasons, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of installing this in my car. Obviously, it wouldn't be too smart of me to show you exactly where I mount this. So I'm going to be hiding this in the car. Pretty much all this does is a master shutoff on the main line that goes all the way up to the engine. That's all that I feel comfortable saying right now, but these are very useful. If you find a good hiding spot for these, it's going to be a very good way to prevent theft or at least slow them down. Links for both of these products are also down in the description, so make sure you check them out. All right, so I wanted to show you a little bit more detailed look at this wiring harness. So I don't know if you can read that, but it says turn switch, and basically all of these wires are labeled exactly like that. So I'm going to unravel this entire thing, figure out how much length that we have to deal with. I just want to make sure I have the length that I need to go from the trunk all the way up to the farthest things like these headlights and all of the ignition components and stuff like that. The longer wires obviously are all the way back there, and those are going to be for like the rear turn signals, rear lights, all that kind of stuff. So we have plenty of length down here, especially if we mount this up underneath the dash on either side. Really, we could even do the driver's side, which we're going to take all of the factory wiring stuff out. We have to definitely clear out some space to work with because this is kind of just loaded with all kinds of random stuff right now. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the seats, kind of clean up some of the areas so we have some more room to work, and then we'll get in the car and figure out kind of where we have to go from there. All right, so I've got the dash pulled out, and there was a couple things that I ran into that were kind of different from some other cars. So I'm going to show you what I had to do to get this whole unit out. I had already removed this, so I didn't have to worry about that. And the radio is obviously an aftermarket one, so I just was able to pull the whole unit out just by disconnecting these connectors back here. My speedometer cable was not even attached, so that's a good thing we got this dash out. And then lastly, the biggest thing was probably the headlight switch. So I'll take you inside the car to show you what I had to do. All right, so if you look back here, you can see that there's 2 nuts that hold this steering column on. So all you have to do is just loosen those nuts. The steering column will drop down. And then this headlight switch is the trickiest part probably. You just have to pull the switch, and then there's a little pin right here. You just have to push it, and then you can pull at the same time and then get this little shaft out of there, and then you can pull this whole thing out of the dash. So that was the trickiest thing probably to figure out how to do, but we're gonna go ahead and put this back in there for right now just so we can keep it all in one place, and then we'll get to moving all these wires out of the way. All right, we have ourselves a mess now. So I have most of the wiring taken out, or at least loose. I just have to kind of draw it out of the car. But so the back wiring harness is completely loose. I just have to pull it out of the car. And then in here, I got all this stuff taken care of. Got the fuse panel ready to pull. So I don't know if you can see it because it's pretty dark in here, but the fuse panel sits up here and it's ready to pull forward now. So there was 2 screws that held that onto the other side here. So if you come around here, you can see this is the fuse panel right there. So it's just loose and sitting in there, but they have this little block. So this is the back side of the panel that just gets bolted to, and you can see it has all those terminals in there. So we got that taken off, and then that loosened up all the wires as far as inside the engine compartment goes. There's some like stray ones here and there for some miscellaneous things, but for the most part, all the wires are out. Some of the sensors and switches, I just cut them and left them here. That way, if I need to reuse this, I can. As far as the cowl goes, it's actually not in as bad of shape as what I was expecting it was going to be in. So we can probably clean that up. I don't think it looks like we need any patch panels on any part of it, so that's good. So as you saw in the time lapse there, I did have to remove both of the fenders just so I could get access to the back of this, because I was going to pull the booster out, and then I realized that I didn't want to mess with that. I wanted to leave it in, and it would probably be easiest if I just took the fender off, because I have to take it off anyways so that I can access all this stuff to get it all corrected and rust free. So again, I don't have a blower motor in here, so all this stuff I just made a little panel and put it back in here, and I can go back in here and officially spray all this now, because it was kind of just a temporary thing to keep all the rust off of it. This part of the cowl does have a giant rust hole in it, so we're going to see if we can't order this. If we can't, I guess we can just go in there and fabricate it or patch it with something, but I want to do everything right since I've been doing it right on all the other stuff, so I'll have to look into that later. But I am going to go under there and remove all the wires from the starter. I just kind of clipped the ones that went up here, but we'll go through and remove everything here in the next day or so. So the plan for the back is actually to make some custom taillights back here, so I'll have to take care of those on another video. And then the battery is going to be placed right back here. So we're back in the driver's compartment, and I wanted to show you exactly where the fuse box is. It's back there, it's just dangling right now. And then we have all of these wiring harnesses that had to go, like this little ignition one here just plugs into there. There's like 2 or 3 different connectors that go in there. And then this one is for the gauges. So, and then we have this one, which is for the turn signals and everything that goes up into the column. So all that stuff had to be removed so that we could get the wiring harness loose and ready to remove. All right, I kind of wanted to show you why I like these wiring harnesses so much. So on these harnesses, there's actually pre-wired connections for things like your dimmer switch, I believe that one's for, and this one is for your ignition stuff. This one also looks like ignition stuff. So as you can see, everything is sectioned off. Like this is the front section. This is going to be all the stuff on the steering column, the dash, everything like that. And then as you move farther along down here and you get to the really long wires, you know that those are going to be for the farthest part away from the car, like the rear lights and everything like that. So they've already done a lot of the wire management on here to keep everything nice and easy. All right, so I'm going to kind of go through here and make sure that everything is ready to go. And that way by the next video, we're able to throw in all the wires and get everything working again. Possibly even do the EFI within the next week or so, 2 weeks maybe. So it's all coming very soon, so stay with me. But right, so I have everything officially stripped out of here. The starter wires are all removed out of there. Also, I had to take this little block off plate off because I couldn't get this farthest header bolt out. So I got that removed. And then in the car, I got every single wire taken out and put over here on the floor. So I'm gonna do some cleanup and get everything ready for the new wires, and then that will be the next video for this Nova. All right guys, so I think that my voice has hit its limit for today. So I'm gonna go inside and try to thaw my throat out since it's so freaking cold out here. And we will get some stuff prepped up, get it all ready for the next video, which is going to be putting the wiring harness in there. Anyways guys, make sure that you stay tuned for the next video and all of the future updates to come for the Nova, and as well as a video that I've been doing for the truck. I ran out of welding gas, so I gotta go get some more of that, but then I will get that video put out to you guys as well. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. We are trying to go for like 5,000 subscribers this year. That's my personal goal. So if we could hit that by the end of this year, that would be amazing. All right, other than that, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.